life is limited. You don't want to spend 10 or 20 or 30 years in a shitty marriage where you're sleeping in separate bedrooms or you don't even talk to each other. What fun is that? Hey everybody, welcome back. In case you're new here, I'm Jonathan Noble, divorce and family law attorney, licensed in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And I want to talk very briefly about something that I see quite often. If somebody comes in for a divorce consult, I'll usually ask if there's any way that the marriage can be saved, because that's usually the best. If it can be saved, why not? If you can reignite that flame, especially if there are children involved. But if it can't, if I'm contacted by the spouse that is not financially savvy, or the unmoneyed spouse, maybe the one that doesn't work, stay-at-home mom or something, and the other person is the big wage earner or the big corporate guy or the big entrepreneur, they often ask, how am I going to pay you to take my case or get the case started? And the answer is, in most jurisdictions that I'm familiar with, in the statute, it allows the lawyer to file a motion once they've entered their appearance and taken a case for an interim distribution of marital assets. So if I've got the stay-at-home mom that wants to hire me, and she just basically gets an allowance and is not financially savvy, but there's a lot of money in maybe the other person's name or in that she doesn't have access to, I can just file a motion, and almost always the judge will give a disbursement either to me. Sometimes the other lawyer will want one too, and that's the way it works. That's what gets the ball rolling. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, how am I ever going to get out of this living hell, bedlam of a marriage, this dead marriage? I don't have anything, and the other person's really controlling. That's how you're going to do it. That's one way anyway, where you're going to hire someone and check it with the lawyer that you're talking to and see if there's a statute where they could go to the court and say, look, my client doesn't have access to the money and she needs the money for my retainer to file for subpoenas, deposition, interrogatories. All that costs money. It's expensive. So if you think you're trapped because you don't have access to the money, it's not the case most often. The court will see to it that you can defend yourself and you can hire the counsel of your choosing. Little tip of the day, all right? How can you avoid this? Don't get married. Then you don't have to get divorced and contact me. But if you're starting up a rock and roll band and you need somebody on guitar or drums, let me know. Be careful out there.